CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. We begin with the Trump transition. President-elect Donald Trump is considering backup options for Defense Secretary, and Governor Ron DeSantis is on the short list. Former Fox News host Pete Hegseth currently does not have enough support from Senate Republicans to get through nomination hearings next month. If DeSantis is picked, that would pave the way for Florida's first female governor and first governor of Cuban descent. More of Trump's cabinet picks are back on Capitol Hill today, meeting with the senators to shore up support. CBS News Miami's Erica Brown fills us in from D.C.
Pete Hegseth says President-elect Donald Trump wants him to keep fighting to be his defense secretary nominee.
I spoke to the president-elect this morning. He said, keep going, keep fighting. Behind you all the way.
Hegseth is on Capitol Hill trying to make the case to senators.
That's what Donald Trump asked me to do. Your job is to bring a war-fighting ethos back to the Pentagon. Your job is to make sure that it's lethality, lethality, lethality. Everything else is gone.
CBS News counts at least 4 Republicans who are a no vote on Hegseth's confirmation at this time.
How many people in the Republican caucus are afraid of Trump enough or not? And now he's going to need, I think he can afford to lose 3. I mean, it's going to really come down to math.
Trump is already considering alternative names for defense secretary, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Iowa Senator Joni Ernst.
My presumption is I'll support whoever he wants and thinks is going to be great for his cabinet. It's not 100% clear to me who he wants as Secretary of Defense right now, and I defer to him.
Hegseth penned an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal accusing the press of carrying out a smear campaign and saying he looks forward to his confirmation hearings. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look outside, another chilly day for us here across South Florida, but we will soon start the warm-up process. Next weather meteorologist Shane Hinton is here now with when that warmer weather may return. Shane?
Yeah, you know, it's right around the corner, actually, as our winds start to shift slightly over the next day or two. Right now, I mentioned it is on the cool side, upper 60s to lower 70s across all of South Florida, currently sitting at 71 in Miami. Let's take a look at where that area of high pressure is up toward our north. This is actually helping to gradually shift our winds from the northeast and then eventually the easterly direction. That'll help to elevate our temperatures. Right now, 10-mile-per-hour winds in Miami. As we walk you through the evening, notice temperatures drop into the upper 60s by dinner time. So you'll definitely still want that jacket if you have any outdoor dining plans or, once again, maybe participating in any Miami Art Week events. The clouds will continue to build in overnight, and that's going to be something that actually helps us to be a little bit warmer as we walk into tomorrow morning. The afternoon overall is going to be milder as well. Not as chilly of a start for us, for those of you who maybe were not a fan of the colder mornings that we've had so far. As we make our way into Friday, you'll notice that wind has shifted from the east a bit, and that is going to help to elevate our temperatures, but we've got a weak cold front that's going to move through the area. I'm not expecting much, if anything, from this. Maybe a subtle shift in the wind briefly, and maybe an isolated rain shower out toward the coast on Saturday, but most, if not all of us, are staying dry. It's only a 10% chance. As we make our way back into Sunday, look at that. That wind already shifts back in from the east. And that means our temperatures are going to start climbing once again. In regard to tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up in the upper 50s to lower 60s. So a good difference compared to this morning when we started in the lower 50s, and many of you needed those layers. As we walk you through the day tomorrow, going to be a partly cloudy to partly sunny kind of day. Temperatures in the mid 70s by lunchtime, and I think we're going to top out around the mid to upper 70s as we go throughout the next couple of days. Tomorrow, I've got a high of around 77 in Miami, also in Homestead, a bit milder out in the Keys in the mid 70s. As we walk you through your 7-day forecast, you can see we're kind of hard pressed for rain right now. As we head into the weekend, I do see us in the upper 70s to lower 80s ballpark. That cold front that slides through only gives us a slight dip by a degree or two for the weekend. And then we slowly start to climb back up as we head into next week. By the midweek hours or midweek time frame, I do have lower 80s for our afternoon highs with only a 10% chance for a stray shower. So we'll have to keep our eyes on any developing systems there. Look at these morning temperatures, though, upper 60s to lower 70s. So it's going to feel a lot warmer than what we have been dealing with this past entire week. So you get to put your sweaters away for a little bit in just the next couple of days, Lauren.
All right, Shane, thank you. A man arrested accused of a disturbing crime. 26-year-old Deontay Blackman was taken into custody after police say he entered a young woman's downtown Miami apartment uninvited in August. The victim told detectives he raped her after threatening her with a broken glass bottle. Blackman did not know the 20-year-old victim. He's now facing charges of armed kidnapping, armed sexual battery, and burglary with assault or battery. The suspect was on probation for an attempted sexual assault case in Brickell in 2021. We're also following news out of Fort Lauderdale, where police say a woman was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries after she was stabbed. It happened around 9 this morning on Southwest 13th Street. Chopper 4 was over the scene, where you can see a heavy police presence. It's unclear what led up to the stabbing, but police also think the victim may have been hit by the suspect's vehicle. And now to Cuba, where the country's troubled electrical system collapsed again this morning after the largest power plant failed. Authorities are addressing the operational issues and expect it to be restored by tomorrow. Work and educational activities have been suspended. New York City police are trying to track down the suspect who gunned down the CEO of UnitedHealthcare in the middle of Midtown Manhattan as he walked into an investor conference. CBS News Miami's Tim McNicholas has the latest from the Hilton Hotel where the shooting happened.
Police released these surveillance images of the suspect and announced a $10,000 reward. We've frozen this video just before the moment police say he shot UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in the back and leg just outside the Hilton Hotel around 6:45 this morning.
Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target.
The NYPD believes Thompson, a 50-year-old father of two, was walking to the United Health Group's investor conference at the Hilton. Detectives say after the shooting, the shooter ran into an alleyway before getting on an e-bike and riding into Central Park.
There are GPSs on those bikes. We'll be working with the company.
United Health Group canceled the conference and released a statement saying in part, "We are deeply saddened and shocked, and Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all who worked with him." Shock is also how tourists in the area describe their reaction.
It could happen anywhere, but Christmas here in Manhattan.
As massive crowds are expected in Midtown for tonight's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting.
I don't think there should be any cause where people have to kill someone else to get rid of them.
This is a terrible event, but we're going to go on, and people are going to enjoy the tree lighting tonight.
Officers say they also recovered a cell phone from that alleyway, and they're looking into whether it belonged to the suspect. In Midtown Manhattan, Tim McNicholas, CBS News.
Renovations are coming to Morningside Park in Miami, but not everyone is happy about them. Protesters showed up at the ribbon-cutting ceremony this morning. The park along the bay is known for flooding, so phase 1 of the renovations includes putting in solar power lighting, building a climate-resilient shore wall, improving the boat ramp, and putting in a 15-foot bay walk. Protesters said they take issue with the size of the bay walk specifically.
A 6-foot wide walkway has worked fine for 71 years. This isn't downtown Miami.
Like this drainage underneath the walkway, but that's going to get clogged, and the city has historically not been great about maintaining things.
We asked Commissioner Damian Pardo about those concerns. He lives in Morningside himself. He said city code requires the bay walk to be 15 feet, and engineers have been involved from the start of the project to make sure flooding is improved. When we come back, some Floridians are about to start paying more on their electric bill. Find out what's causing the price hike and when it goes into effect. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The Supreme Court heard arguments in what's being considered the most significant case this term, whether states like Tennessee can ban puberty blockers and hormone treatments for transgender youth. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand spoke with families on both sides of the issue.
Parents of transgender youth on both sides of the issue made their voices heard outside the U.S. Supreme Court as the justices weighed arguments inside.
Normally in these cases, one group receives something that the other group does not.
The case challenges the constitutionality of a Tennessee law that bans what's known as gender-affirming care, such as puberty blockers or hormone therapy for transgender minors.
It's a sweeping categorical ban where the legislature didn't even take into account the significant health benefits that can come from providing gender-affirming care, including reduced suicidal ideation and suicide attempts.
More than 20 states have similar measures on the books.
Our child has been receiving gender-affirming health care until this year.
Mom Rebecca Bell of South Carolina says she and fellow mom Mary Foster have been fighting their state's ban.
Gender-affirming care is life-saving care. So our kids are at risk when they don't have the care they need to be healthy and happy.
Tennessee's Solicitor General argued the state is trying to protect children.
Given the high desistance rate among minors and given the tragic regret of detransitioners, that there is an interest in making sure that minors have enough time to appreciate their sex before undergoing life-altering changes.
Mom Erin Friday of California supports the ban. She decided against gender-affirming care for her daughter.
I refuse to do that, teaching my daughter that you can't change sex and showering her with a lot of love and compassion. And then she returned back to believing that she was a girl after a year and a half.
While justices decide the landmark case, families on the two sides say ultimately they just want their children to be happy. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
In today's Consumer Watch, you're just weeks away from seeing an increase in your electric bill. That's because starting in January, Florida Power & Light plans to charge an extra $12 a month to cover restoration costs from the 2024 hurricane season. It covers $1.2 billion in expenses to restore power following hurricanes Debbie, Helene, and Milton. The move also helps replenish a $150 million storm reserve fund. The price hike was unanimously approved by state regulators.
For the next 4 years, I'll be taking my college at the University of Florida.
And today is high school football signing day, and at Booker T. Washington Senior High School, the Gator Chomp there, Nat Moore finalist and cornerback Ben Hanks Jr. chose the Florida Gators for his college football career. His dad, Ben Hanks Sr., also played for the Gators in Gainesville. And a reminder, join us on CBS Miami tonight at 7:30 live from Hard Rock Stadium for the Nat Moore Trophy presentation. Hanks and the other finalists will all be there. We'll find out who will be this year's winner. And don't forget, Sunday, we have you covered when the Dolphins take on the New York Jets. It all begins at 11 a.m. with the Coach Mike McDaniel Show, followed by Dolphins Weekly Live at 11:30. Kickoff is at 1, followed by the fifth quarter postgame show after the game. And finally, we are getting into the holiday spirit in a big way with community lights, and we want you to show us how you're doing it too. Send us your pictures of your home's decorations. Just email them to pics@cbsmiami.com or upload them to cbsmiami.com. You might see them on our air and featured in a gallery on our website. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.